The Grenada government about to begin a public education campaign ahead of the referendum on adopting the CCJ. And in sport, wins for the Windward Islands, Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago as the regional Under-19 One-Day Championships continues. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, August 28. I'll be back with the details after the break. Grenada is preparing to launch its campaign for a second referendum on whether or not to replace the London-based Privy Council with the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, as the island's final appellate court. Now, the launch will be on Wednesday under the theme Breaking the Chains of Colonialism for One Caribbean, and Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley will be the featured speaker. Attorney General Sir Lawrence Joseph, who is also the chairman of the CCJ Advisory Committee, said Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell will officially announce the date of the referendum, which is scheduled to be held in the last quarter of 2018. There has been wide speculation that the Grenada and Antigua and Barbuda will hold their respective referendum on the same day, that's November 6. Sir Lawrence said that following the launch of the campaign, which will take the form of a national consultation, the CCJ Advisory Committee will embark on a number of other events. Back in 2016, Grenadians voted against accepting the CCJ in a 7-bill referendum that included other issues such as the fixed appointment of a leader of opposition, a fixed date for general elections, and restriction the tenure of a prime minister to a 2-term limit. None of the measures was accepted. School will be in session next week. That's the assurance from Guyana's Ministry of Education as the Teachers Union began a nationwide strike yesterday to press for pay increases. The ministry says it has a contingency plan in place if the strike action spills into the new school term, which begins next Monday, September 3. Chief Education Officer Marcel Hudson says if the teachers stay away, 300 teachers from the Cyril Potter College of Education, the country's teachers training college, will step in. In a release issued yesterday evening, the ministry said the services of retired teachers and parents will also be utilized. Hudson said the contingency plan is to ensure the strike has minimal impact on students. Yesterday, teachers stayed away from pre-commencement activities at the various schools across the country. Some also marched and picketed the office of President David Granger. In St. Lucia now, where the main opposition says it plans to stage a march and mass protest rally on Sunday to mark the 9th anniversary of the fire at the St. Jude's Hospital in Vieux Fort. The protest is against the ruling United Workers' Party government, which the St. Lucia Labour Party, SLP, said has adopted policies that are bleeding the country and destroying our institutions one by one. The SLP charged that since the government of Prime Minister Alan Chastanet came into power back in June 2016, there has been an ever-deepening health crisis with the failure to operationalize the country's 2 major hospitals. The fire at the St. Jude Hospital, which began on the surgical ward and spread to the pediatric ward and operating theatre, resulted in the deaths of 3 patients. The government has indicated that it is considering scrapping the reconstruction of the hospital amid concerns about costs running into millions of dollars. The reconstruction of the hospital has spanned both the UWP and SLP administrations. In Barbados now, a top Caribbean jurist has advised that the proposed Integrity in Public Life bill would not be enough to keep politicians honest. The warning came from former parliamentarian, cabinet minister, attorney general and Chief Justice Sir David Simmons as he addressed a rare open hearing of the Joint Select Committee of Parliament on the bill. Sir David, who helped establish the Turks and Caicos Islands Integrity Commission, which he currently chairs, says an Integrity in Public Life Act must be part of a package of related laws for it to get the job done of fighting corruption. He suggested there be a code of conduct which provides for sanctions for breach of the code, legislation to regulate campaign financing of political parties, and a Freedom of Information Act. Sir David said those measures combined would ensure that Barbados has taken proper steps towards providing minimum standards for good governance and the conduct of persons in public life. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Coming to New Jersey, the official national soccer team of Jamaica will face the national team of Ecuador. September 7th, 8 p.m. at the Red Bull Arena. Jamaica versus Ecuador with all their stars. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the stadium and at a Delgado travel agency near you. Free admission for children under 10. Restrictions apply. Jamaica versus Ecuador. Brought to you by SPD Sports. Don't miss this exciting match.
I could work as hard and eat as much as a man when
If you got beauty, then raise them up, 'cause every inch of you is perfect from the bottom.
I think the performance dipped a bit, so it's a 4 from me.
Harvey, John style. No. The first thing is the costume. Them not do nothing. They don't say nothing.
Welcome back. West Indies under-19s batting star Kaman Emilia struck a scintillating century to headline the 6th round of the regional under-19 one-day championships as Windward Islands easily disposed of Canada by 79 runs yesterday. Playing at Park Hill, Windwards piled up 310 for 7 of their 50 overs, with opener Emilia stroking 102 of 58 balls and crunching 13 fours and a half a dozen sixes. Micah Joseph struck 90, while Lincoln Durand got 33, not out, and Jonelle Eugene 23. In reply, Canada were 93 for 6 in the 20th over before Kavian Naresh top scored with 71, and Rishiv Joshi chipped in with 36 to keep the innings afloat. Naresh counted 6 fours and 2 sixes off 74 deliveries, putting on 76 for the 7th wicket with Nicholas Manohar, but the target proved out of reach. At the Arnos Vale Stadium, where Trinidad and Tobago made light work of Guyana, defeating them by 4 wickets. Seema Rivaldo Ramlogan snatched 3 for 27 as Guyana, choosing to bat first, were dismissed for 116 in the 38th over. Kelvon Anderson top scored with 42, but Guyana collapsed from 82 for 4 in the 20th over to lose their last 6 wickets for just 34 runs. In reply, TNT's runs chase was less than convincing, but Leonardo Julian, who got 24, and Joshua James, who ended on 23 not out, ensured there was no Guyana comeback. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.